But good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first virtual ribbon cutting for the Fulton Montgomery Regional Chamber of Commerce. We are so excited to celebrate my life this time around, a guide for women ready to thrive in entrepreneurship. Like I said, this is our first virtual ribbon cutting. It brings the thrill of ribbon cutting ceremonies, speeches, introductions, and a ceremonial highlight all via Zoom, allowing everyone to participate from anywhere while providing the business visibility and support, helping to build your path to success. We have a note from our executive director, Mary Beth Schultz, who cannot join us today, but she would like to thank you for joining Charity. On behalf of the Fulton Montgomery Regional Chamber of Commerce, I want to sincerely thank everyone for joining us for this exciting virtual ribbon cutting. This new format gives us another way to celebrate our members, share their stories, strengthen our connection as a business community. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to help launch this experience and to continue finding creative ways to support and spotlight our members across the region. So this is introducing Charity from my life this time around. She's going to share her screen, and following her presentation, we will do our little virtual ribbon cutting. So this is my little introduction to Charity, if you would like to read it, Charity.
Hi, I am Charity, a digital marketing strategist with a passion for helping women-owned small businesses thrive on social media. I specialize in guiding business owners who feel overwhelmed by content creation, teaching them how to attract more customers, save time, and turn their social media platforms into powerful tools for growth.
Beautiful. So I'm going to stop sharing and Charity will share her screen and give us a little virtual intro.
Thank you. Okay, we should be all set there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about using social media for your business. I started in social media about 3 years ago as a way to learn how to make money online. I was becoming a stay-at-home mom again after a period of being in the workforce. And previously, with my other two kids, I was a stay-at-home mom, and we struggled financially. So it's very difficult for me to become a stay-at-home mom again and not be able to provide and support for our family. So I started in social media about 3 years ago, learning how to promote products, promote services, and that's how I got started was actually in social media. So that's kind of like a flip of what most small business owners do. Most small business owners start with their businesses and then have to learn how to do social media. I actually started with social media and then turned it into a business. So I spent a couple of years learning how to navigate social media, tips and tricks about social media, and how to use video. I have been on video and on camera for the last 3 years. So it's a passion for me to be able to help teach women specifically, because as a stay-at-home mom, not having an income for myself became something that put me in a bad situation because I didn't have my own savings, I didn't have my own money, and when I got divorced, it was really scary for me to try to figure out how to provide and support for my family after becoming a stay-at-home mom, or from becoming a stay-at-home mom. So using social media is a way for me to kind of help small business owners who are in that business era and just don't really know how to use the small business part and how to promote it. So if you can, if anybody has a small business in here, I would love for you to share it in the chat because that's going to be helpful for me. I want to teach you the first thing, which is how to stop the scroll. So when you are on social media, it is going to be very important for you to stop people from scrolling through. And it's going to be really quick. You want when you post for your business to be able to stop probably within about 3 seconds and make sure that whoever's scrolling past knows that that post is for you. I also want to talk a little bit about the goal of your post. So when you're posting, there should be a specific goal in mind. And when we talk about goals, we're also going to talk about the fact that you don't want each post to be doing every single thing. Um, how to make posting faster. I hear a lot of people struggling with, what do I post today? I don't know what to post today. How do I do this quickly? And we're going to come and talk about some tips and tricks on how to do that. And I also am going to share with you some easy growth reel ideas. I have been on camera for about 3 years, and I know sometimes that that's scary for people to put themselves out there and get on camera. But I have some easy growth reel ideas for you to start getting on camera and maybe make that a little bit less scary because I have it kind of all mapped out for you. And if you complete the survey that was sent out by the Chamber of Commerce, I'm going to give you a free 30-minute strategy session for your business. So the first thing that we talked about is how to stop the scroll. So you have about 3 seconds as somebody is scrolling on their phone. Yep, 3 seconds. For them to decide whether or not they're going to stick around and read what you posted or if they're going to scroll on to the next thing. So a hook is going to be something that you are going to use in order for you to make sure that the person that is watching knows that that post is for them. A hook works fast within the first 1 to 3 seconds. It's clear. Clear is always better than clever because the person is going to know exactly what it means. And it's going to be relatable. You're going to be using their own language and problems. So sometimes as business owners, we have a tendency to talk in business owner language. We want to be switching that up and be speaking to the clients as they would specifically talk about their problems. And businesses, as a business, we are solving problems for our clients and for our customers. So we want to find out how are they talking about those specific problems so that we can help solve them. We want to make sure that your hook is intriguing and it makes them curious so that they have to or that they're interested in watching it. Your hook is going to make sure that in that 3 seconds, that person that's scrolling knows that this is for them and that they want to pay attention to what you posted. You can go ahead to the next one. So these are some hooks that I shared just because they're on the Reels tab in your social media, like when you're scrolling through. And this is going to be the very first slide that you see when you're scrolling through the reels. So if you take a look at the one on the left, this one is about sourdough. How do we know it's about sourdough? Because I can see it in the picture and because it's written there on the screen. I know that if I'm a sourdough baker or if I'm interested in sourdough, that this is going to be for me. And it also talks about failing. So maybe if I've had trouble with my sourdough, I know that this reel is going to give me some tips or tricks to help me with something that I'm having problems with. So if that's for me, I know that I'm going to stop and watch that because it hits on the points of the struggles that I'm having. The second one I have here, this one says, I have PCOS. Would this work for my chin or my neck? Absolutely. So jelly wax is made for sensitive skin and hormone related hair growth. So now I know it's a visual. I see that it's talking about wax. I have a question directly from a client. So this is using their language. And it's also saying a specific problem. The one below is about how to stop your Doberman from stealing food. This has got a visual hook because I see the Doberman jumping up on the counter. I also see the food next to it, and it's talking about a problem that they might have, which is stealing food, and it talks specifically about the dogs. So see how each of these things is specifically calling out the person that they're trying to help, the problem that they're having. And then this last one here is let's DIY a pillow for a headboard. So if I'm looking for things, this is not going to be for somebody that wants to buy a headboard. This is going to be for somebody that wants to DIY. So you're distinguishing yourself right there because you know it's not somebody that wants to buy it. It's somebody that wants to do it themselves. And we're talking about what specifically? A headboard. So we want to know when we're posting, like, what are we actually trying? Who are we trying to get to read this and to stop? And what is the problem that we're trying to solve? You can go ahead to the next one. So there are different types of hooks, and this is exactly what we're talking about right now is the hook, which gets the person to stop scrolling past your post on social media and gets them to pay attention to you. So a visual hook is going to be something that's eye-catching. Do you have something around you that's going to get this person to pay attention? That looks different. Do you have a different angle? Do you have a pretty bush that's outside that's going to be visually appealing to somebody? Do you have something specific? I have like my picture in the background. That's something that people know is mine. This is my office. So that's something that's going to be a hook that when they see that picture in the background, they know, oh, that's Charity. So you might have something in your office that distinguishes your office. You might have equipment in your business that distinguishes you as a specific business. Those are all going to be visual hooks because they're going to identify you. A written hook is going to be something like we saw in the last slide where you're able to see exactly who the person is that you're trying to reach. It's going to be attention grabbing and it's going to be the text that's at the very beginning of the post. I want to share something with you that maybe you guys don't realize. At the beginning of a Facebook post, Facebook is typically cutting off the very first sentence maybe. So you might get a handful of words in and then the Facebook is cutting it off so that they kind of have everything condensed into a small space. So if you have said, "Hello, happy Friday," like, and then you've gotten into your post, Facebook might have cut that off at happy Friday. So when your clients are going to look and they're scrolling through that post and they say happy Friday, they say happy Friday, great, and then they scroll on to the next one. If you have something really interesting that you want to talk about, anything interesting that you're sharing, you want to make sure that that's the very first part of your post because otherwise it's probably going to get cut off. You want to be using a hook at the beginning so that these people know that they're interested in it, that it's for them, that it pertains to the problems or the issues that they're having, or that you have a solution for them. Start with that hook so that you know that those people are going to hit that see more and they're going to be able to drop down and be able to see that whole entire post. A spoken hook. There are different kinds of reels and different kinds of posts that you can make on Facebook. And a spoken hook is going to be basically the first sentence that comes out of your mouth. If you are taking the time, unfortunately, to say, "Good morning, hi guys, hello, how's everybody's day going?" People are impatient. Unfortunately, it's social media. They're scrolling through really, really fast. And if you're taking that 3 seconds to say hi and good morning, you're going to have a lot of people that decide like, okay, yeah, whatever. And they're just going to keep scrolling. So you want to make sure that that first line that you speak, if you're talking in a reel, is going to be directly to that person using a hook and making sure that it pertains to them with the result that they want, or a solution to their problem, or something that's really going to get them attracted to paying attention to what you have posted rather than scrolling on to the next thing. The very first way that I learned about this is about fishing. So when you are doing your marketing online, you want to be using the right bait for the type of fish that you want. If I am throwing up stuff about sourdough, then that's obviously going to attract a certain type of client, a certain type of customer, as opposed to if I'm throwing stuff up there about DIY, right? You want to be using the right bait for the clients that pertain to your business specifically. You can go ahead to the next slide. So pay attention to your surroundings. I know a lot of you are not comfortable quite yet being on camera if you are going to be presenting your business and sharing online. Like I said, I've been doing it for a long time, so I am more comfortable on camera. But if you're not, being the face of your business can be a thing that helps set you apart from other businesses locally to you. So we were actually in a local area here, and they had a Grizzly gasoline pump, which is not something that you typically see. So what did I do? I had my camera out and I made sure to take a picture with this. Why? Because it's not something that people normally see. It's something unique. It's an old thing, and it's going to be something that as people are scrolling through, they're going to maybe stop and see it, stop and look at it. So things that are unique to your surroundings are going to be really great things to help boost your post and boost visibility because it's interesting and it gets people to stop the scroll. These I have available. This is going to be hooks that get your small business noticed. So if you are looking to figure out how to use hooks in your business, this is going to be something that we can work together on to customize these. These are basically templates that you can scroll to the next page and I can show like a couple of them. So this first one here says you think the thing that you're doing. So you have to do a little bit of work on this here to come up with the thing that actually is what your clients are doing wrong. And I basically have a bunch of these set up for you so that you can kind of scroll through and see what fits the ideas that you have in your head for your business. And then you are going to be plugging and playing these in with a 30-minute consult. If you guys are interested in working on these hooks and customizing some of these for your posts, I would gladly sit down and come up with some of these hook formulas for you to help get your posts a little bit more attention. You can go ahead to the next one. No, go ahead to the next slide. Thanks. So posting with purpose. Before you hit post on any post that you're doing here to market your business on social media, no matter what platform you're using, you want to know, what do I want this post to do? There's going to be a purpose, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. What is the purpose of the post? Am I hoping to reach new clients? That's important, because the post that you're going to use to create a new audience and to build new clients is not going to be the same post that you're going to be nurturing with. And we'll talk about that in a second. Actually, right now, are you building trust and authority with people that already know you? So this first part is going to be just basically an introduction. It's like if you met somebody on the street, you wouldn't go through and sit down and talk to them like you would a friend, right? It would be two different types of conversations. Somebody that you just meet on the street is going to be more surface level. It's going to be a little bit shorter, rather than that next part where, are you building trust and authority with people that you already know? That's going to be kind of more of a friend conversation with people that already know your business, people that you've already connected with a little bit. Do you want people to comment or interact with the post? So these first two types of posts are not going to be the same type of post as this third one. The third one is basically going to be getting comments and interaction on your post. You're going to be driving people to comment. You're going to be driving people to interact with it and share in some way, so that the more people that comment on it, the more people it gets shown to. And those are a specific type of post. And then the last one, are you selling a product and service? This is going to be really hard. This is something that I see happen a lot, is they're trying to get all of those things to happen in one post. So having a strategy means that you have some posts that are just meant to be short and just meant to be quick and are just meant to introduce yourself as a business and the kind of product and services that you have. And then the next step is for you to be showing your authority in the space as a business owner. And you're also going to be doing posts specifically to get engagement, so that the more engagement you get, the more people are going to be seeing it. And then selling. So try not to get one post to do all of the things. It's really hard for one post to do all of the things. It's okay for you just to reach new people on this post. It's okay for you just to build trust without trying to sell, because if you have all of the pieces, they continually work together. And that's the goal, really. Go ahead to the next one. So this is what we call the growth, nurture, and sales strategy. So green I have here for growth. That's going to be our short posts. Those are going to be like meeting somebody new on the street. It just introduces us. The nurture posts are going to be sharing with those people that already follow you. We're going to be building trust. We're going to be letting them get to know our business and the person behind the business. And then the sale is going to be actually you selling your product and service. So the problem is that if you just do one type of post here, you're going to be missing the other pieces. If you just do growth posts, people are going to know who you are, but they're not going to have that deeper sense of trust, because it's a very surface level relationship that you have with them as a business. If you're only posting nurture posts, they might love you. They might think you're really great, but they might not buy if they don't ever see what you're offering as a service, if you're not sharing those sales posts with them. If you're only posting sales, I see this happen a lot with small business owners, is that they're posting their flyers continuously and posting their flyers and posting their flyers. And what's going to happen is people are just going to keep swiping. They're like, I've already seen that. I've already seen that. Like, I already know what that is. And they're just going to keep going. So unfortunately, it's okay that you don't know that, because you haven't been trained in learning how to do social media, and that's normal. So knowing how to do a growth nurture sales strategy is something that's important for you to not burn out and not continually just post the same things and then like be so frustrated with social media that you give up on it, or that you just wonder why it's not working. Um, and people wonder why it's not working and they get burnt out because they're not sure of what to post. They don't know how to get new clients into their business. And that's going to be with growth stuff. They don't know how to nurture people, or maybe they have one piece of it, but not all three. So having a strategy is going to be helpful for you to get people, new people in, get them to trust you, and then build your sales. So those are all going to be three pieces that work together. You can go ahead to the next one. So the goal of your post is important because we want to know what we want the person to do with the post. Do we want them to share it? Do we want them to like it? Do we want them to comment on it? Do we want them to book a call with us? Do we want them to stop in and chat with us about something? We need to know what we want from the post in order to tell them what to do with the post. Here is something I would love for you to try to actually tell people what you want them to do. It feels really strange to do at first, is to tell the people what to do. But if you don't tell them what to do, they won't do anything because they don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't know what you want them to do. So if you've seen on there, like and comment, like and follow, comment this, share this, the people are doing that because they know that, and some people aren't. Some people are just going to scroll and they're not going to do it. But the people that are willing and that are engaging with you, they're going to do what you ask. So they might comment, they might share it with a friend, they might like and follow it. So you want to let them know what the purpose is of your post by telling them what to do with it. If you're trying to reach new people, you would have them like and follow you. That's going to get them attached to your page. So when you put out new content, they're going to be able to see it. If you have stuff that's nurture, you maybe want to have them comment on something or share something that relates to your post. If you have a sales post, and don't be scared, really don't be scared, sales posts are going to get the least amount of engagement. It's just the way things are. Growth content is going to probably get the most, and then your nurture content is going to get the second most, and then your sales content is probably going to get the least amount of engagements, which means likes, comments, all of that stuff. So don't be afraid by that. Just be aware of it. So if you throw up a sales post and you're like, wow, that didn't really perform very well, that's okay. They might have clicked on your link, or now they have your product front of mind, or maybe they just kind of are aware of the solutions that you provide to the problems that they have, and they just have that in their head now. So the next time you post about it, they might be more ready to buy. So don't be scared if you throw up a post and it's a sales post, that you might only get a couple of likes. Maybe you're not going to get any shares on it. So understand that each type of post is going to have different parameters for what we want people to do with them, and how we want them to interact and how they're going to perform. So growth posts are definitely going to be the highest performers. I have a growth post that's going on right now that's like going viral for me. So it has like 250,000 views on it or something like that, and thousands of comments. That's not a sales post for me. That is just specifically getting people to engage with my content and getting to know who I am. And I'm okay with that being a post where they're not going to book a call with me. They don't even know who I am yet. So that's okay for different posts to do different things. You can go ahead to the next slide. Your followers are only going to see 10 to 20% of the posts that you make. So if you have 1,000 followers, there's only going to be 100 of them or 200 of them that are seeing each of them. So don't be afraid to repeat yourself. If somebody engages more in your content, they will see more of your posts. So I noticed this in my own feed, that if I have commented on somebody's post or if I have liked somebody's post, Facebook will now show me more of their posts. So it's kind of a wave where sometimes you're going to get more engagement, sometimes you're going to get less, and sometimes people will see more of your stuff based on the stuff that you've posted recently. It is okay for you to repeat yourself. Don't think that maybe you put out a post about a promo that you have going on one time and all of your followers see it and you feel silly about posting it again. post it again, because probably 90% of your followers have not even seen that first post. So they don't know what's going on. They don't know that you have a promo. They don't know that you have an Oktoberfest. They don't know that this is coming because they missed it. Facebook never even showed it to them. So it's okay for you to repeat yourself. It's okay for you to repeat yourself, even if those people did see it. You are the person that's behind your social media. So you are seeing your own posts over and over and over again because you're making them and you're editing them every single day. Those other people are seeing your post and then thousands and thousands of other posts if they're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So they're just going on to the next thing. It's okay for you to pop up in their feed again and see you again. So don't be scared to post something 2 times, and feel free to vary it up a little bit. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, you can go ahead to the next one. So this is how we make posting faster and easier. So if it takes you forever to figure out what to post, batch your ideas. So that means I'm working with a client right now, and she sits down and she starts writing all of the ideas that she has for one specific subject. That way, when she's ready to post about it, she's got her ideas listed right here for her, and they're ready to go. Batch your ideas once a week and sit down and try to come up with a couple of posts at one time. The slowest way for you to post on social media is for you to do one post beginning to end. So if you sit down in the morning and you write your post, you figure out what your picture is, you put it on social media, that's the slowest way for you to make a post. The fastest way for you is to batch sections. So like figure out what all your pictures are going to be for the week, figure out what all your posts are going to be for the week. You're doing each of those things in a separate compartment so that when you're ready, you could just put all the pieces together. So I actually use what's called content pillars. So I'm coming up with 3, 4, 5 main ideas for my business that I know, like Monday, I'm posting this certain thing. Okay, Tuesday, I'm posting this certain thing. Wednesday, and it doesn't have to correlate to the day of the week, just as long as you hit your pillars. You want to have probably 2 growth pillars, 2 nurture pillars, and 2 sales pillars, or 1 sales pillar. And that means that you're posting 5 days a week. So if I have 2 posts that are intentional and I'm trying to grow my audience, I do 2 posts that are intended specifically just to grow. And then I have 2 posts that week that are specifically meant to nurture the people that already follow me. And then I have that 5th one is where I'm going to do my sales. So you can mix this up during the week and post them however you want, but that's what I try to stick to is 5. And then if I'm having a good week, I double that and maybe I do 10 that week. But I try to stick with 2 posts for growth, 2 posts for nurture, and 1 for sales. So template it. You would like to reuse Canva templates. I have Canva templates that I use for quotes, for different things, for carousels on Instagram that I also post over to Facebook. And those things make it a lot easier for me to post because I can reuse them. I can take a carousel from this week and maybe next week I would do that same one, but maybe I change the colors around or change my first image on my slide there so that I've got a Canva template ready to go. And then I would just take maybe something from one post I did a month ago and take that post and break it down into different sections for a carousel. And a carousel, if you're not sure which one I'm talking about, those are the ones that are like a picture. And it's got like 5 pictures in a row and maybe they have some text on them or something. It can just be like a plain Canva graphic with just words on it. That's what a carousel is. The repurposing. So I tend to take an idea that I have and I turn it into multiple things. So you may or may not have an email list. I take a post that I write one time and I turn that into like a regular post I would use for Facebook. I can also take that same idea and I can turn it into a reel. I would use my hook at the beginning and then summarize what I've written already for my reel. I can take that and I can turn that into an email. And then I can also take it and use it as a Canva graphic in my templates that I have. So I have one piece of content and I'm able to turn it into a lot of different pieces. And if you have a long piece, you can actually take that and break it up into separate pieces of content and just do one small. If you're teaching something or if you're sharing about something specific, you can take that one small piece of a bigger piece and break that up and then do the same exact thing. You can make a reel out of it. You can make a post about it. You can do a carousel about it. All of these things that you already have written and already done the work on, don't waste them. Feel free to use them and just put them in a different format. And that's a great way to make posting faster. And set a timer. Try not to take too long. I have some of my growth posts that are super, super fast, and I can make them up in 5 minutes. I can make a bunch of those up in a couple of minutes, and then I just save them on my phone and they're ready to go. Give yourself 20 minutes max. If it's taking you some time to figure out what to post and how to do all that stuff, done is always going to be better than perfect. Always. So get the post up, even if you think it's silly, even if you don't think it's perfect. I struggle with this a lot, is perfectionism. I want to make sure that every post that I put out is edited perfectly, and the text is perfect, and the picture fits perfectly, and everything is perfect and is perfect and is perfect. And I had to stop doing that. I had to stop taking forever and just put the post up. And then maybe I can go back to it and review it, in a couple of days and then come up with a new idea. But it's going to slow your progress a lot if you're worried about getting things perfect. So feel free to let that go. I, as a perfectionist, have struggled really hard if I have a spelling error, or I haven't edited it really well and I've typed it really fast, and I have something where I've typed something silly or whatever, and I have fought and fought and fought with myself not to delete that post. And sometimes I just let it go. Sometimes I just leave it. And it's okay. I'm still here. Go ahead. You can go to the next one. So these are the 5 plug and play post prompts that you are going to get. This is easy growth content for you. And I specifically specialize in doing reels because I'm comfortable on camera. I have easy ways for you to get on camera. And this is something that I'm working on. I'm actually working on creating a training for small business owners to learn how to do reels. And it's actually going to be Master the 10-second reel. Because literally I've had that post that I was just sharing with you has a 250,000 views on it or whatever. It's literally a video of me skimming the top of my pool, and it's like a 6-second video. 6 seconds, and it's got 250,000 views. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be hard. And these are some of the easy post prompts that I'm going to share with you. If we have emails, I can send them out to you. So the POV is our first one here. And you are going to use this as a template and fill it in how it pertains to your business. So the POV is you are a, right? And then you're going to describe who your ideal client is. Describe what their biggest pain point is. So if you're a dog trainer, right, we would say you're a dog mom, right? What is their biggest pain point? You can't go outside without your dog getting into the trash, or you have a hard time walking on the leash, or whatever your clients are saying that their pain points are, that's what you're going to use in the describe their biggest pain point. And you want to be specific here. The more general you are, the less people are going to attach to it and relate to it. So you want to make sure that you're using their pain points as specifically as possible so they can really identify with it. And the last part is so you can. And then what do they want? What's the result that they want by working with you, by coming into your shop, by anything that you do? This whole thing, you want to describe your client, their pain point, and the thing that they're going to get out of working with you. Excuse me. The next thing we're going to do is the waiting for. So this is all basically the same idea here. You're waiting for, right, your ideal client to find my page so that I can help them. What? What do you help them with? Those are the things that you can narrow down. You can throw these first 2 posts up, and then as you get better at making these specific posts, you can refine them a little bit more. But don't be afraid to just throw that post up and see what kind of feedback you get. And then maybe look at it in a couple of days and see if you can refine it a little bit. This one right here that you can only pick 2 is my one that's going viral right now. I have the you can only pick 2. And then you're going to pick 5 things that are relatable to your specific business. So if you are in financials, you're going to pick something that is financially related in those 5 things. If you are a store that caters to children, you are going to be picking 5 things that relate to children. And you want them to be choices that your ideal client is going to have a really hard time picking between. That's what's going to make this one really go. The next one is the controversial post. I have a couple of these, but this is the one that I chose, which is this might ruffle some feathers, but then you're going to put in something here that's a controversial belief or myth. I actually just read a post from a small business owner, and they do gravestone cleaning. And their controversial post was basically about using a pressure washer. You're not supposed to use a pressure washer on a gravestone. I did not know that. She was posting this for awareness about this business. This would be a great one for her. So this might ruffle some feathers, but it's a bad idea for you to use a pressure washer to clean a gravestone, right? That would be for her. And this last one, I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is another controversial post that you can do. You're going to drop an unpopular opinion. And don't you know I don't have a drink up here while I'm dying right now. Okay. So this is the I don't know who needs to hear this. You're going to put up something that your client needs to hear. Okay. This is going to be an unpopular truth or a reminder that's related specifically to your business. And I can send these over to the people if I get emails for that. You can go ahead to the next slide. And this very last one, I would love to chat with you. If you are interested in booking a free 30-minute strategy session for your business, I'm open for that. I have a Calendly link that I can send to you. And my social media, if you want to find me on social media, it's My Life This Time Around. My email address is charity@mylifethistimearound, and I would love to help you figure out how to use social media to grow your business. So that free 30-minute consult, the strategy session, is open to anybody that's interested.
Great. Thank you so much, Charity.
Thank you.
So let me get out of here and we will play our little ribbon cutting video and we will be all set. And this is where we all celebrate. Woohoo! Yay! You're a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So we just want to thank you all for coming again, and this will be posted on our Facebook. And thank you to Charity and My Life This Time Around. We hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.